All right, good afternoon. We'll call to order the regular meeting of the Oneonta City School District Board of Education for October 21st, 2020. Can we have the roll call, please?
Mr. Grau?
Here.
Mrs. Burnsworth?
Here.
Mr. Gaisford?
Here.
Mrs. Kurkowski?
Here.
Mr. Beckerink?
Here.
Mrs. Cashman?
Here.
And Mr. Reynolds is absent this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. And for our remote attendees, if you wish to put comments in that will be read during the opportunity to address the board, there's a Q&A at the bottom of the screen and you can put them there and we'll read them during that time. Resolved to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. Resolved to accept the minutes of the October 7th, 2020 regular meeting as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? All right. That brings us to our first opportunity to address the board. There are no comments. So there will be another one. If you wish to put something in the Q&A, we'll read them at the appropriate time later on in the agenda. Resolved that the reading of a non-certificated personnel memorandum 2020-17 be waived, and that the action item stated October 21st, 2020 be approved as recommended by the superintendent of schools.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolved that the reading of the Teaching and Administrative Personnel Memorandum 2020-17 be waived, and that the action item stated October 21st, 2020 be approved as recommended by the Superintendent of Schools.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Grau?
Nope,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can finish. I was just able to unmute myself. I don't know what was happening there.
Darn, you figured that out, huh?
Yeah, I figured there was something going on there. But I tried to unmute when with the non-certified. I wanted to just share that Dougie Card's retirement is on there, and Dougie has served this school community very, very well over the years, and we certainly wish him well as he moves on from here.
Okay, we do, thank you. I think we took the ayes. Are there any opposed to the certificated memorandum? Abstentions? All right. Any other comments? All right, well, that brings us to the superintendent's report.
Well, I will start with some good stuff first. This is School Board Appreciation Week, and you know, throughout these uncertain times, you have all been such a great support for our district, and we have some certificates for you all when we get back together. But I did want to just share something with you that I wrote, just dear members of the Oneonta City School District Board of Education. During this School Board's Appreciation Week, I would like to recognize you, our school board, for your continued contributions to our community. As a superintendent, I get an opportunity to listen a lot. I hear about school boards and the challenges that they experience. It is not easy being a member of a school board, However, this pandemic and the concerns relative to state aid compounds that degree of difficulty exponentially. I want to share that this school district and this community are most fortunate to have you all serving in this capacity. You support our students, our faculty and staff, and this Yellow Jacket community so very much. Your time, your efforts, your passion, and your commitment are truly appreciated, not just now during School Board Appreciation Week, but always. On behalf of myself and a grateful school community, thank you for all that you do. So, and now Mrs. McGinnis would like to share proclamation from the mayor of the city of Oneonta with you all.
So we have the proclamation from Mayor Gary Herzig from the city of Oneonta in appreciation for all of you. And it states, whereas each year School Board Recognition Week is observed by more than 700 school boards in school districts throughout the Empire State. And whereas the men and women serving as members of school boards are dedicated to children, learning, and community. They devote many hours of service to elementary and secondary public education and continually strive for improvement, excellence, and progress in education. And whereas the members of New York's local school boards are community leaders who provide an invaluable resource as local decision makers, responding not only to the respective educational needs of their communities, but also serving in the interests of school children and their futures. And whereas during the week of October 19th through the 23rd, 2020, special activities and programs will be held in communities across New York State in observance of School Board Recognition Week. And it is fitting to join in acknowledging the commitment and contribution of the members of local school boards. Now, therefore, I, Gary Herzig, Mayor of the City of Oneonta, do hereby proclaim the week of October 19th through the 23rd, 2020 as School Board Recognition Week in the City of Oneonta, and encourage all residents to extend their good wishes and support to the Oneonta City School District School Board of Education. And if we were in person, you could see how beautiful this certificate is with the city's gold seal.
So thank you for all that you do, have done, are doing, will continue to do. So I will follow that up with a very, very brief capital project update. We really are in, punch list territory. We continue to be, two outstanding large projects are our tile mosaic at our entranceway to the high school, as well as the carpeting in the library. Both of those projects are moving forward. I know that the tiling is still at the water jet plant where they're being created. Carpeting, due to the size of that, they're trying to find manufacturers that can help us with that. But other than that, it's it's really punch list stuff. I did also want to just share about our hybrid transition. As you can imagine, it's not it's not ideal under any stretch of the imagination. It's very, very difficult for teachers to, tend to their students in person, as well as those who are learning remotely. This is something that we will continue to talk about and explore and collectively work with our faculty and our families and our administrators to, and as well as the Department of Health to figure out our next steps. As you are aware, we had a bit of news toward the end of today, wherein we were made aware of a faculty member who became symptomatic on Saturday, did end up in receiving a test on Sunday. We have not, that teacher has not been in school since then. However, as per our protocol and the guidance from the New York State Department of Health, when someone is symptomatic for longer than 48 hours without a definitive test result, and considering the duration and the number of symptoms that this faculty member had, in those cases, someone in that situation is treated as a positive case. As such, and in compliance and with our protocol, and due to the fact that this is kind of unfolding fairly late in the day, and we need to work with the Department of Health relative to contact tracing, in an abundance of caution, we have closed the middle and high school campus tomorrow and Friday. Our elementary schools will function as normal. Our all-day BOCES students will attend as usual. However, our CTE program students and our New Vision students will not attend their BOCES programs tomorrow and Friday. For the middle and high school students that may be in need of meals, Chartwell's will establish a distribution point in front of the middle school from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Thursday only. So students can come there and pick up meals for both days if in need. In the elementary buildings, meals will be served as normal. Once we receive further direction from the Department of Health and whether or not this is an actual positive case, our district, as well as the Department of Health, will reach out to anyone deemed to be in close contact with this person as stipulated by the Department of Health guidelines. So it's unfortunate, as we await the results of that COVID test, we certainly wish our colleague health and certainly hope that this is a negative. Our plan is to open fully again on Monday in our hybrid, following our hybrid schedule on Monday. So that's where we're at now. And that's all I have for you.
All right. Thank you. And thank you for the quick pivot this afternoon. And we certainly appreciate the quick move and being safe and keeping everyone safe.
Thank you.
So we'll get through it.
Yeah, we will. I know I say it all the time. We're very fortunate to live where we live and work where we live. It's a really good team with very understanding folks. So,
Tom, not to get into too many details, but just out of curiosity, was this faculty member symptomatic and in school, or they became symptomatic and stayed out of school, but may have been in contact with students on prior days to becoming symptomatic?
Yeah, the faculty member became symptomatic on Saturday and has not been in school since then. However, when there is a positive case, contact tracing really begins 48 hours prior to, one's symptoms, the onset of one's symptoms. So that would have been last Thursday and Friday. So just out of an abundance of caution, we're gonna keep that campus closed for 2 days. So tomorrow and Friday, the only folks who are going to be on that campus are our custodial crew. Chartwell's, who prepares meals, they are completely isolated from the rest of the building. So they will be in there tomorrow and Friday prepping meals. Meanwhile, our custodians are busy working in the building tonight, and we'll follow that up tomorrow with some additional cleaning and get ready to return to school on Monday. And in the meantime, once we have some definitive answers relative to the test, I'm going to get those out, to our entire school community as well, because I'm sure that folks will, rest easier knowing one way or the other.
So teachers know that they have to teach from home. They can't come into the building to teach.
Yeah. Through email, we sent out a few correspondences today. I know Mr. Millay had sent something out to his team as well. So yeah, folks will receive the auto notification as well. So Darren, that was a long answer, but
Any other questions? Okay, resolved that the reading of the financial memorandum 2020-18 dated October 21st, 2020 be waived, and that the financial action items be approved as recommended by the superintendent of schools.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right, thank you. Discussion.
Yes, in addition to a couple of regular monthly reports, there's a consultant service contract, and I do need to point out that that is $800 per day. So it's the backup that you have, shows the amount, and it shows that it's $800 per day, but that is a little confusing because it's missing from there. And that will be paid for out of the school improvement grant funds. And then the budget amendment is something that I think we have been talking about, but we did in reaction to the 20% cuts from state aid, we did reduce the supply budgets by 20%, and that's just to be safe. Hopefully, we'll get all the money and they can go back, but right now we just thought it would be best to cut where we thought we could and it wouldn't hurt personnel. The Occupational Health Services Agreement is an agreement that we have annually with Bassett, and they do our fit testing, our hearing tests. They cover buildings and grounds and our asbestos liaison, and now they will also cover our nurses for that fit testing. And some surplus there, and that's it. There's not a lot on there.
Any questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. That brings us down to the audit report. Resolved to approve the audit report of Raymond G. Pressor, CPA PC, as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Okay, I'm sure that you all enjoyed reading that report, but there was a nice summary that went with it. And the summary has a few years comparison, which is kind of nice. The audit went very well, and Scott Presser did meet with our finance audit committee yesterday to go through the highlights. It's an unmodified report. There weren't any findings. It went pretty well, I think, especially considering that it was a new auditor to us. We did an RFP and we had a new auditor. So this was his first time with us. But it is kind of nice there. It shows the comparison year to year and our assets and liabilities and how our fund balance changed. And, on the back of the second page, the bottom just highlights that the district is in good financial condition. Our cash position is strong and our asset to liability ratio is positive. And the way that we plan our budget and the way that we spend our budget is we spend about what we're budgeting. So, I know even today I saw something in the paper where they're saying, people over budget and then just to keep the money, and we're not doing that. So our budget is fairly presented and put together for what we actually need. So it was, I thought, a positive report. And also there was a separate extra classroom activity report. He did note a couple of items on there that, the cash receipts, and this has been an issue in the past, but just to let you know, we have come, John does a great job with this and we have come a long way with this. We need to make sure that all the events are scheduled, the cash is getting deposited in a timely manner, which he did note that for the most part it is, but he did see a couple where that wasn't happening. And I did talk to John today. He's already looking at the inactive clubs, but our auditor also noted that a lot of these clubs have activities that happen at the end of the year. And obviously the end of the year didn't happen for us. So that, may be why some of those clubs were inactive. So this was just to, remind us to keep on top of the fundraising and also the profit and loss statements. We get them for some clubs and not others. So we have come a long way on that. And we just obviously, can still improve on that. But all in all, the extra classroom and the regular audit was good. So I don't know if you had any questions after reading the 70 pages of numbers.
The summary was nice.
The summary was nice. And this also, just so you know, after you approve it, it gets loaded on the state website. It goes on our website and it goes to the comptroller's office. So it's available all over for anybody who wants to review it.
I just want to note that once again, it was a clean audit, that there were no findings. And I think Lisa and your team do a great job. And actually Scott noted, or Ray, oh, it was Scott, right?
Yeah.
Scott, yeah. Scott noted yesterday how easy it was to work with your team, and especially given everything that was going on with the pandemic. But he would ask for something and he would get it very quickly. That things were in very good order. And the note about the budget, I think, was really nice because we do see that where districts over budget and then just kind of put the money away. And he noted there was one year we spent 97% of our budget, which is just being fair to our taxpayers. So that's a great thing. But Lisa, I want to say thank you and congratulations on a great audit.
Thank you.
I second that, Lisa.
Thank you.
Truly.
I third that, especially with the new auditor coming in. It's very
Absolutely.
stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, really stressful. I do have a question, being new to all of this, because having been in athletics, I know that we fundraise a lot for my volleyball team. So I'm assuming that our athletic teams also do that right through is that funneled through a certain club here? How's that work?
Usually it's funneled through varsity club, and that would be one of the extra classroom activities.
Okay.
So you'll see that on there. It says varsity O. So that
Yep.
does not run through the school's, funds or any of our funds. It's an extra classroom activity fund.
Okay.
I thought too that I never thought much about the profit and loss statement for clubs when they do fundraising, but besides the practicality of it, I think it's a great lesson for our students. This is what we spent, this is what we made. Hey, wait a second, we didn't make more than we spent. That wasn't a good idea. So I think that's great, just from a lesson standpoint. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right. That brings us to our second opportunity to address the board, and I'll read Lisa Machut's comment. I just want to thank the Board of Education for all their support during these crazy times and for hiring Tom Brindley to supervise us. I can't imagine anyone being better at navigating everything from all angles. I'm grateful to be part of this district and have the professional, technological, and emotional support that has been given to all of us. I think I can speak for all of us at OMS when I say Tom Mollet has done an amazing job at leading our building through everything. Thank you. She went on to say, I also want to thank Bonnie Nobling and the entire IT staff. They've been invaluable in making sure that we have what is needed and to successfully deliver instruction remotely. And thank you for my new classroom. Lisa, you're welcome. Thank you for everything you do. We certainly appreciate it. And I was kind of hoping actually that we would meet tonight because I wanted to take a tour of your classroom and some of the other things that we haven't quite seen yet. So next time, but I'm pretty excited about that too. And Kathy Lynch also typed in the chat. Thank you for your continued work for all of us in the Oneonta City School District. Your commitment is very much appreciated. And thank you, Kathy. We appreciate that, and we appreciate your commitment too, especially with everything that's been going on and you know, keeping the SAD Club moving forward. We're really, really hopeful we can have a prom this year. All right, that brings us to committee reports, and start with Darren.
Well, unfortunately, I have no committee reports, and I really have nothing new. I congratulate Doug Card on his retirement, and thanks to Lisa Machut and Kathy for the nice comments and remarks. It means a lot coming from those two hardworking teachers, and thanks for the Board of Education recognition week from the city of Oneonta as well. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleen?
Committee report. Bill and I are still sort of trying to meet. I know that we have a letter that we'd like to get out to everyone regarding getting our committee back together. We just have to finalize that. And I did have a thought actually regarding, I know that I've been reading a lot of articles lately because there's just been a ton that have been coming around. And I wanted to get everyone's thought process about possibly maybe posting some of these articles on our website under a diversity and inclusion committee section. Just kind of throwing it out there, if that could be something we could do, because there's some really good reading out there. And if it would be posted on our website, that if someone is, you know, up at 2 o'clock in the morning and wanted some good reading, I know we all are up at 2, so have the opportunity for community members maybe to do that too. That was just a thought process I had. And thanks for Board of Education. Of course, I'm a rookie, so I appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Sue?
I don't have any committee reports. I just want to say that I think that our district, I have so much confidence in the way that everything's being handled, from Tom, Lisa, all the administrators, the teachers. I just want to thank you guys. I know it's School Board Appreciation Week, but I think that, you know, what we do is small compared to what you guys do to help run the district, and I really appreciate that. And that's all I have.
I second that too. Amy?
Well, you know, last year I used to tease Tom that you couldn't throw much more at him in his first year. And I've stopped saying that because every time I'd say it, something else would come in the face of a challenge. And so I echo Lisa's, Machut's comments all the time, because you handle it all in stride. And I think we as a community, parents, students, teachers, board, faculty, staff, administration, we're all learning how to roll with it. And, you know, we're old hats at this now, you know, okay, we're all going remote tomorrow. Okay. And I think that speaks to our school district, and that, you know, we're helping each other through, and we're giving each other breaks, and learning that in this environment, we have to be able to, as Bill put it, pivot and keep going. And I think we're doing that really, really well. And so thank you for the recognition, but to echo Sue, thank you for everything everyone else is doing. That's all I got.
All right. Sean?
This is why I hate going last, because everybody says it all. But in all fairness, I like the way you do that, Bill. You kind of switched up who gets to go first. It makes sense. So
It just
most
goes.
importantly, well, it worked that way. I'm sitting going, oh, he took that away from me. Amy took that away from me. But a couple things. First, Doug Card, congratulations on the retirement. He was one of the first people I met here in 1996 after I got out of the academy from the state police, when I found an apartment. And he's a gentleman who will take his shirt off his back for you. And it's been well over 20 some years later, and he has never changed who he is. So Doug, thank you so much. And as a fellow retiree, you're going to enjoy it. Trust me. I want to make a comment about the IT staff. Something as simple as what we're doing right now would not be happening if it wasn't for the hard work that goes behind the scenes. I did IT for several years with the state police. I'm going to tell you right now, not enough thank yous, but a lot of expectations. And Bonnie, your team, hands down, have really blown it out of the water. Thank you so much. And trust me, I wanted to be live tonight too. I wanted to see everybody. I wanted to have conversations. I wanted to joke, but hey, we make it work. And just like you said tonight, Tom, where we're going back to remote the next 2 days for the high school, middle school, it's easier to go that way than it is to try to go the other way. And the bottom line, I know we said it and we say it all the time, it's for the students' safety and our faculty's safety. Bottom line. So again, I congratulate you, Tom, for making these decisions and the hard work you're putting into it. Lisa, your recognition doesn't get enough to you for hard work that you do as well. Thank you for that audit. It just shows you that we're doing the right things as a district. We're not cutting corners. We're not wasting money. We're trying to do what's right for our community. And I have faith, and yes, we know that 20% is still out there, still lingering, but we're working on it. And Tom, thank you again. Other than that, Lisa, Michette, thank you for the great words. Tom Alley, making comments about the middle school and for appreciation for the school board this week. And it does mean a lot because, we do hear it, and whether it be good or bad, but that's why we do what we do as board members. And I'm proud to be part of it. I really am. I'm looking forward to many more years of it. So, all right, I'm done. Thank
and here's
your mug, Sean. You would have tonight.
That's okay. I can wait.
Tomorrow, I promise. And there's more if anybody wants to buy any. Jenna and Kevin's class are selling them. So.
All right. Thanks.
Tom has one, yeah.
We had the finance committee meeting yesterday. We covered a lot of it. Some things that Lisa mentioned is that we do have some grant funding that we are expecting to be made whole on our federal grants, but maybe not our state grants. There could be a 20% cut in that. The biggest of that is the UPK grant. So obviously we're waiting to hear on that. I think, we talk a lot about our community and, and we talk about these tax certiorari's where people grieve their taxes or something happens. Well, sometimes companies ask for pilot, which is a payment in lieu of taxes. So they don't pay their full tax, they pay a smaller amount. And, there's reasons that the IDA grants those. Well, they granted one to Corning and the county made a mistake. It didn't get on the tax rolls. And Corning agreed to pay their full amount this year because they did. And they agreed to start their pilot next year. So rather than us digging into our pocket to pay the difference to them, they agreed to just let it go. So I think that just needs to be noted that, that there's a company in our district that really did something that helped us out because, we would have had to have paid them back for that. Our fund balance is up as we knew and kind of expected because of we saved some money at the end of the year. We didn't have some expenses, but we know we're going to expend some of that, a lot of that, depending on what comes as far as the cut from the state, whether or not it does come. And we're exploring some ideas on health insurance on how to maybe mitigate some costs there, but more on that to come. I also want to say, you know, thank you to Tom again and Lisa and everyone, everyone in the district. You know, everybody's really rowing in the right direction. Tom, I think that's definitely due to you and your leadership, and we certainly appreciate that. I was talking to someone this evening, and I said, oh, I got to go to a school board meeting. And I said, oh, well, there's a thankless job. And I know I've said this before, and maybe it is, but that's not why any of us do this. We just do it because we believe in it, and we believe in this district. And I am really proud to be part of this board. I'm proud of the work that the people in the district do. And I really want to extend thank you to all of you for that. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purposes of special ed and personnel.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. We're adjourned.
See you in a few.
See you in a few.
Reggie, good for me to end it? Okay.